All right, welcome to BCB Live, safest station in the nation. 4th of July weekend upon us. Drive safe, Dave. It's all right. You know what? By now, we know you really don't love America. We already know that part. And now, on the eve of the eve of the eve, you show your true colors.
Red, white, and blue,
Show
baby.
your true
I bleed
colors,
red,
Drive
white,
Safe
and blue.
Dave.
Let me just tell you, I bleed red, white, and blue.
Oh, and if it was up to Drive Safe Dave, there would be tolls everywhere, all over the place. That's the difference between his world and my world. You know, in the kingdom of Sir Rick.
I don't just blow through them. I actually see the cautionary sign, slow down, go ahead and pay my tax. However, Sir Rick on the other end
give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right?
Blows right through there, and no toll tag. He's got his hand over the easy pass, trying to block that as he runs through there.
You know, you can deny the sayings, right? Especially if you have no front tag, no back tag. Just, you know, they'll never find you.
Just run no plates.
They'll never find you. Drive safe. What do you got going on for this upcoming weekend? By the way, if you're wondering right now, there will not be a BCB Live on Monday.
Negative.
You know what?
Drivers.
I know y'all are like, what?
What are they gonna do?
I was gonna show it to the family. No BCB Live on Monday. If you want to go to it, watch it on YouTube. Yep. Dave, any other way?
Oh, you can get LinkedIn. You can even go and get it in different areas. I'm telling you, go to TikTok and check out some of our videos, right?
TikTok, there's all over the place. You can
Facebook.
find, and you know what you can do? You can also live a little BCB Live in the way you act out there on the road this weekend.
Oh my God! They did the American Automobile Association released yesterday. They now believe that 54 million Americans will be traveling this weekend.
Wow.
54 million Americans. That's a pretty large percentage of the overall population of the United States.
Yeah. And how many people travel every weekend, though?
I don't travel every weekend.
You don't go anywhere? I mean, when you
travel,
when you're on the road,
I don't load the family up and drive 500 miles.
There is no family. It's you and your wife. That's it. There's no way. By the way, I want to compliment you on your haircut.
Oh, thanks.
It looks very good. You know what?
I got a little pressure.
You're looking sharp.
I truly got a little pressure from Sir Rick. I do want to let. He told me yesterday.
I just said set an appointment up and get it done. Do it once every 6 weeks.
It is okay to get a haircut.
It was, you know what? But first, it was somebody. One of our fans noticed it first.
Did
and
they?
I just kind of piled up on it.
Yeah, he did. You know what? Piling is a penalty. You know that, right?
I don't know if it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm old school.
Piling on is a penalty.
I'm old school. That's when when
there's
saw
blood in the water.
You jumped in. Yes, sir. There's no doubt about it. Hey, speaking of traveling this weekend, you're starting to see a little bit of movement, right, on those people that are the Uber drivers. Remember when we did the Hertz article? It was it may have been 3 or 4 months ago when Hertz was buying all these Teslas, and and I know we had a little battle there on Twitter, or whatever. Did we offer them or did they not? Well, they got them in, Dave, and the price seemed extremely high.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, because of fuel, we're seeing Uber drivers get rid of their cars and go lease a Tesla. Think about the Tesla, the Class 3 or whatever that is, the 3C, C3.
Yeah.
You can lease that from one of those, like a Hertz or one of those, for $375 plus the charging, about $450. So $450 a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. But these Uber drivers, they're spending $600 in fuel
only
alone.
In the fuel, not in there. That doesn't even include the maintenance on the vehicle. That doesn't include and then you lease it. I'm telling you, it's making it a little bit crazy, but let's be honest, that can't be the solution today for everybody because there's
you know what? If it can be.
It can be.
That's your agenda. Keep fuel up that way. Electric vehicles will come quicker than you think.
I know. I'm telling you,
it's out of control.
We've got to find a way to stem the tide of the price of fuel.
I mean, is it only? Did you watch the president's? He just got back from Spain or something like that, right? Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I did for about 17 minutes.
And it sounds like that from a fuel perspective. They asked the question, will it happen? How long is it going to last? And it sounded like the answer was as long as the war goes on.
Okay, that's scary.
Was like, that is scary.
Because there was a report yesterday also after the G7 summit They predict that this is going to be a multi-year war. And
well, there you have it, folks. All right, so again, I want to make sure
they've never been right about
we
anything
are
in this
equal
war.
opportunity bashing on this show, Republican, Democrat,
Yeah,
Trump. It doesn't
exactly.
matter. So yesterday there was a moment there that he kind of psyched us when he also was going to clap. I don't know if you saw that or not. He was listening to the thing. I think he's supposed to clap. I guess you probably know when you're supposed to. He goes like this, and then he goes. I was like, what? Did you forget how to clap? What's going on with that? Just clap. It's not that hard.
It's
Not
okay.
that
it's fine.
hard.
You can clap and be wrong. You can clap and be wrong. There are moments when you shouldn't clap.
Producer.
He had an interesting comment I saw the other day where he was getting interviewed on a YouTube radio show, and he said that the only people getting pulled over and that should be arrested are the ones committing felonies, and that he doesn't believe a DUI is a felony.
Wow.
I think he slipped up his words, but
we all make mistakes. I mean, I do it all the time.
Don't loop me in that, please. Don't loop me in that comment right there. And what's up with only seeing half the producer's face?
Because he's trying to get close to the mic.
Move the mic over. Move the mic over. Problem solving 101. What is our world going to do?
Or the camera.
Yeah.
Or move the camera.
The camera barely moves.
Well, yeah. Oh, now he's going after.
You know what? Oh, it slides. You know what,
slides.
Dave? This is our future right here. I mean, do you realize this right
College.
now? Yes. I mean, and before you know it, another 3 years he's going to be out, and he's going to be our boss.
Yeah, exactly. And still get half a face in the camera.
That's all you need.
That'll get you. So, I saw this. All right, let's talk about this train. I've been wanting to talk about this train.
All right, let's talk about the train that stopped inches away. You're talking about the one in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one there. There was a few train things, but what a great topic right now to talk about
train safety.
Train tracks, train safety, and I wish you would have wore
one of my
thousands. Yes, because people, we've got to pay attention to these. The truck breaks down, drive safe, Dave, on the train track, and when you break down on a train track, what's the very first thing you need to do?
Get out of the vehicle.
Yes, well, I would have said 911, but yeah, get out first, then call 911.
Then call 911,
yes.
But get out of the vehicle.
Because the trains, they just can't stop.
No,
They're
they
not,
can't.
Just like a big truck can't. Hey, four-wheelers, listen to this. Not only can trains not stop on a dime, neither can big trucks, so don't test them. Don't pull out in front of them. Look up ahead. Do all you can do as well. But, Dave, here it is. The truck is broke down on the track.
Yeah, the car hauler.
And that train, it just came inches away from hitting it.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot. They've gotten a lot more readings out, but still, trains take over sometimes miles to come to a complete stop. I'm not sure how fast this train was going. I'm not sure. I don't know everything about the whole story. But I'm very glad that it didn't end in a disaster. I mean, usually these things end in horrible disasters. And just like we had in Minden, Missouri just last week when a Amtrak hit a truck, it derailed and killed people. So that's the danger, right? I mean, it's not only who's in the truck, it killed the driver in the truck, but it also killed passengers along the Amtrak. We're talking, and it is suspended rail to that area for a time being, and I'm telling you right now, it's affecting that whole Kansas City market. It's affecting all of that because of that derailment and the FSB or the safety boards out there trying to come up to an idea. Let me tell you, this happened at an intersection. We talk about it a lot. This happened at an intersection that has no lights or gates. So there are literally thousands across the country that you'll come across that don't have gates or lights. They'll only say railroad crossing. It is imperative. It is necessary. I don't care if they have gates or lights or not. You must look both ways. You must look down it is an intersection, and it is a dangerous intersection. You've got to look down the tracks. You've got to look and listen. Look and listen, because they will blow the horn. They're automatic now. There is a sensor on the front of the trains. If they detect anyone within the track, those trains will also automatically blow their horns. So it is important that you listen. Don't be jamming out on the radio or talking on the phones if you're crossing these tracks. And don't trust these gates. don't trust these lights, right? So, Rick,
Yep.
you've got to make sure you look both ways at these intersections. They're horribly dangerous, and we've had several incidences this week.
For sure. And so yesterday we had another one in Virginia
Wow.
in which a truck got hit.
Right.
All right. The one in Missouri, a dump truck. Dave, the Amtrak's actually suing that company. The driver died. Tragic. I think two passengers, or was it 3 passengers?
3 passengers.
Died. The dump truck driver also died in it. Amtrak's going after them for negligence. And Dave, it's hard to say that you're not negligent when you cross over that railroad track, right? When you shouldn't.
Right. I mean, if it says warning railroad track, and it doesn't have, and it says no gates or lights, then it is up to you to ensure that the intersection is clear. That's the law. I mean, you've got to ensure that the intersection is clear, because guess what? I want to make sure everybody understands this without hesitation. The train has right-of-way on the track. There's no question. The train has right-of-way on the track. And if you're going to get on its track, it has always has right-of-way. So you have to, I don't
Producer, what are you falling asleep over there?
Yeah, are you watching me or Rick? I'm over here talking and we're seeing Rick. I don't know what you're doing.
You know what? Hey, you're welcome, America. You know what? That's
Facebook.
one heck of a view you got there for a long period of time. I guess I should have started talking like this so it looked like I was.
Hey, Rick would be happy.
You.
I just got an alert on the news on my phone about the Mavs are going after Kevin Durant, I think. So I was seeing the trade package.
And we're talking safety.
I know. It's killing me.
I'll tell you what, Will. I'll
Let's go to a
re-emphasize.
break.
Yeah,
Let's go to a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to try this whole thing again on BCB Live /ESPN, the safest station in the nation.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityprowear.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
You're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. BCB Live covers freight. Here we are now at 21% of record freight being rejected. News down in Texas. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We had another $1.5 million seizure. If ever there's a time to do a pre or post trip, it's if you're doing something wrong. Weather, traffic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to some traffic and weather with Buckle Up Bob. You can kind of see where the visibility can be compromised a little bit. Again, right where that rain is.
And most importantly, safety. One of the things that we must do is make sure that safety is the number one thing that we focus on.
Going into an intersection yellow is not the way. That's to clear an intersection, not to enter an intersection.
Tune in weekdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can watch BCB Live through LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live. Welcome back to BCB Live, safest station in the nation. Drives, I thought you were going to join me. First I had producer, watching ESPN over there. Now I got Drive Safe Dave, afraid to get up out of the chair.
No, I was actually I was looking up prices. I was looking
doing
up
something
stuff.
else. He's looking at
data.
Hey, you know what, guys? We got a show we got to be ready for. We have a show to get ready for. This is why we do it live, so you can watch how even though we're prepped, it doesn't matter. A freaking butterfly walks by.
Squirrel!
Goes. It's unreal. All right, so we talked yesterday, Dave, and let's just look at this together here as we run into this holiday week, okay?
Okay.
We're going to see today's the last day. Nobody's working Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
That's correct.
Drivers will because they got to make deliveries on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then on Tuesday, when you think about it, Dave, everybody's coming off and they're barbecuing, they're cooking out, they're doing all that. They get into work, Dave.
Factories aren't up and running yet. They got to turn the machines on again, and then they got to put the stuff in the machine, and then it's going to take a while to go all the way through the manufacturing process because all that stuff that was on the dock, it got loaded up and moved out. So now they got to redo the dock. They got to get it going again.
So it makes for a slow Tuesday.
Absolutely.
It makes for a slow Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And then the beauty of us here in America is that it takes us a few days to get going after holidays.
It takes us
I think
zero
we've
time at all to
seen
come
that.
to a stop. I mean,
And look, and we're going to show you what we mean here.
Bam!
All of these little dips you see down here. Go ahead and show the screen for me if you can, producer. So when we see these here, I'm going to kind of touch them for you here. That's a holiday week, and look, it takes us a week to get back to normal shipping, what you see up here. This is going back last July. The next one's the same thing. We see it right here, and it goes up right here, down here, up here, every single holiday.
what's going on? I mean,
we
are you taking the whole week off?
You know what?
Who takes the whole week? This is a whole week. Who's taking off? I'm at work. What's going on here?
Here's the big question, though, Dave. Seriously. So we get back Monday on July the 4th, and let me see if I could make this a little bit.
Let's be honest.
Let's look at something here. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up the last 3 years, and we're going to kind of hone in on this period, and we're going to look at the full year. All right. So, Dave, if you look at this top area up here, that was last year.
Gotcha.
Right?
Look
at the volume went down, and it even last year, it didn't come back up to normal till around middle of August, September.
Yep.
Right? So freight volume tends to go down after July 4th. You look at it the year before that, a couple years before that, same thing. Here's the peak, and then it goes down till August. Dave, as we're at the peak again right now, we expect it, and it's the blue is what we're talking about here.
Uh-huh.
We expect this to go down, to that. My God, Dave, I think we're going to hit the 11,300 mark. 11,000. It just makes sense that it would.
Okay.
When we hit that, Dave, we come back to normal. Are we going to hit that 12.5? Today it's at 12,800 shipments a day. Where do we come back at? Now, what's the new norm going forward, for these next couple of months, July and August?
It's obviously not looking like this upward.
Yeah,
trend
that's
line.
last year. Yeah, that's last year when the freight volume was moving up. We get that part right here. The big question is, I just think, Dave, we're gonna come back at probably that 11.7, 11.5 mark right there where that white line is. That's where I kind of think we're gonna stay for July and August.
Ooh.
I mean, why wouldn't we? I mean, it goes down every other year.
Yeah,
think about this. I mean, and inventory, it's still at an all-time high.
Yeah.
I mean, not all-time high, I shouldn't say that, but it is very high right now. We got the places, Walmart, Target, they all reported on it. Okay, so how are they going to clear out inventory? Sales.
Yeah.
Big-time sales are going to come in. Come on in the picture, Dave. Don't be
I'm
scared.
right here. I'm over here.
So you're going to see big-time picture. You're going to see big-time, warehouses just emptying out warehouse because they all still have trailers and containers coming in.
Yep.
And the big question, what happens to the inventory that they have right now? They're going to have to get rid of it to make room for more. How do they continue? Do they continue to order? And now we're talking October, November, December. And those are decisions that are going to happen in these next couple of months because
Absolutely.
You can't bring a container in and order it in October for Christmas.
No, you're buying right now for this right here. You've already ordered for the holidays.
So here we go. Are they going to do that? When we look at the bookings are down for that period of time. All right. So a lot of concerns we do see on that, Dave. And again, there's just no chance because of so many things going against us right now.
Yep.
Fuel.
Absolutely.
Inflation,
Yeah.
fuel, and fuel alone.
Yeah, that to me.
Come on back in the picture.
That to me, fuel right now is the mitigating factor on almost everything that we're talking about here, and that touches consumer confidence. That touches inflation. I think 2% of our inflation right now can be directly associated to the price of fuel, and it's changing the way we think, and it's changing our buying habits. It's doing a lot. I honestly believe that if we don't get something going on, or if we don't do something to directly affect the price of fuel, it's going to, in the long term, we are going to suffer greatly for it, and I think it'll help shrink our economy. I mean, I think it will be a lasting effect on us.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, when we spend money on fuel, we can't spend the money on other things. Goods, washers and dryers, household goods, all of that, it goes away.
Right.
But then we also, in theory, shouldn't have that same money to even spend on vacations, to
Correct.
spend on VRBOs, to spend on going out to eat at restaurants.
Correct.
You know, so the you think about interest rates, and I'm just curious on this. You know, we've seen an increase in interest rates. Does inflation, is it over? Are we in a deflationary period in September? Are we reducing interest rates in September? Let's call it today.
I don't think we're reducing interest rates. I think we can't reduce interest rates because of the rate of inflation. We can't do it. We can't. I mean, you'll just
So here's my. But Dave, what we're talking about here is what I thought I really heard from you, is that inflation, that rate of inflation is going to go away because people are going to quit buying already. There's nothing to buy on. What are they going to buy?
They still have. I mean, they still have to spend money. The problem is right now there is. I believe there's too much money out there that we're spending. That's one of the. I think it's just too much money. I think we need to restrict the supply of money.
I'm going to say this. I'll go out there and say this. I do believe that the period we're in. Hey, zoom out the camera since Dave can't stay.
I'm sorry,
picture.
I'm bouncing around. That's why
zoom it all the way out so we can see everything.
I'll just stand.
My
close.
God.
Can I stand close to
So
you?
listen. So you know, my belief is that cost of goods. I mean, cost of goods are way high today. At some point, I mean, we're going to have to get rid of that inventory, which is going to reduce pricing on about everything. The only thing I don't see it going down on is fuel. You know, I don't know when that happens, but if for some reason that fuel does go down, I think that inflation will almost be over. I think already. You agree with that? Where are the costs going to come from? What do you got?
Well, my big thing is I've been seeing a lot of stuff in some states. They're trying to pass bills that would allow for inflation relief checks, such as like California. And so they're just trying to give out more money.
Let's not go there. I don't mean that like that. My God, don't do that.
Yeah.
The only people that can get, I think this is curing itself right now. I'm just saying supply and demand right now, I think is going to cure this inflation. I just think that the truckload segment is going to go way down. Inventory is going to go way up. I mean, it already is. We're seeing that.
Yeah,
all right.
we are seeing
We read all the reports from Walmart, Target. They all said the same thing. Record-setting thing. Best Buy, everybody has all of this inventory on them. They're going to have to reduce prices to get rid of it.
Yeah, I saw. I was reading an article.
Housing. Is anybody buying housing now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The demand, that's what they were saying. They were all going, is the housing market going to crash? Well, right now the demand is still very high. Even though interest rates are going up and costing the buyer ever more and more money.
What about cars? Are people still buying cars?
Yeah, the demand is still there. I mean, everybody's still buying, and the demand is still there. I truly believe that the pivotal factor, the fulcrum to all of this is the price of fuel. I think that, and everything's pointing towards a recession. Everything's starting to point that way, and I'm
So you call it a recession?
I'm thinking it's going to be, yeah.
I don't think there'll be a recession. I just think that even though, again, if we look back here, Dave, I think trucking. I'm a big believer that transportation calls for is a big. It says what's going to happen. Let me get. If I
do
get
too.
rid of this
I think
thing
it's
here.
a great indicator.
All right, so hold on a second here. This thing will go away. Boom. Display. Let's do this again. Come on, baby, work for me. There it goes. All right, it's coming over here. We're going to look at the 5 years. And again, here I think my belief on this whole thing right here, Dave, when I go back and I look at the past, is that still today, volume was way down here, and we weren't in a recession in 2018 and 2019. It sucked, but it wasn't I wouldn't call it a recession. And Dave, the volume I don't think is going to go any lower than that. I think the shipment's going to go up. I think there's a lot of costs that can't go away. The recession. But who knows, right? I mean,
right, exactly.
There's a lot of people saying that we're walking into one. If
Yeah.
there is one, I don't think it can be. And I think I said that the other day. It won't be a recession like we've had in the past. I think all of this stuff is kind of new to us, just like the last year's freight volume, COVID. All of these things are new, and I think we're all reacting how we acted during COVID, right?
Yeah. So
shut it down.
So
gave
my deal
away
is,
a lot of money.
Right, and I agree, and I think you put too much money out there. But But to me, there's a difference. Is our economy going to be expanding, or is it going to decrease a little bit, just a little bit? And that's what I'm talking about here. I mean, I truly believe that at some point it's got to come back a little bit. It's got to bounce back a little bit from where we were, this ever-expanding, quickly, fast-growing economy. I think it's got to bounce back. I mean, already in the first quarter, we're down, 1.7 on our GDP, on our gross domestic product. We're already down a little bit from where we were last year. So I'm just saying.
We got to, but here's all. But I just think we've got to quit comparing ourselves to last year.
I agree.
Last year was the only time ever that we broke every record. Everything in America got shattered last year.
I'd like to get back
We
there.
had more money coming in and people weren't working.
Can I
When
get
have we
back?
ever seen? People made more money to stay home. When's the last time that happened? Has that ever happened?
No.
No, I mean, certainly not. We can't. All I'm saying, and that's my point, is we got to quit comparing it to last year.
Yeah, you know
last
what?
year
I know.
was an anomaly. It may happen again. I bet it does, and I bet we've learned enough from this
Yeah.
to know what to do. But everything I hear today
Yeah.
is always comparing it to last year. And my only point on that is like, come on, last year doesn't count.
Okay.
I mean, we blew it last year. We made so many bad, but we didn't know what to do. I'll go on both sides of this right here. You know, it was the first time.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes. History, I think, was created last year
Yeah.
for the next blueprint going forward when something else happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. The one thing that worries me right now, and as we talk about all of these things, the rate of inflation is impacting the buying power of the dollar, and our dollar is losing its true value over an extended period of time. So what you could buy with that same dollar last year is 8% less, and I mean that's dramatic. And if it continues at that rate, it's going to affect all of us negatively, no matter how much.
So
money
here, I'm not an economist. I don't pretend to be. I'm just a guy that can read colors. And you know, today I'm even better because I only have two colors to read. I have green and blue. For whatever reason, my other colors aren't pulling up. All right, so Dave, we talk about the economy. You know, we talk about what's going on. I don't even know what we were talking about now. I got lost in my
Well,
colors.
you were talking about we can't look at this high line.
Here we
forever.
go. So we talk about the supply, that, you know, what's going to happen. But when inflation,
Yes, sir.
when all of these people today,
Yes, sir.
the Walmarts, the Targets, the Best Buys, all these retailers begin to reduce their pricing right now.
Yes.
Does that help reduce? I mean, doesn't that reducing in essence inflation? That same cost, that dollar that today you're saying is 8% less. I'm saying tomorrow, in July, August, September, it's going to buy you the same thing it was buying you before.
So,
Why wouldn't it?
No. Well,
If you believe in inventory record high, they've got to clear it. Why are they going to hold on to things? I mean, are they just going to hold the warehouses and now pay all that demurrage and trailers and buy more warehouses to keep inventory up? I don't think so.
I think that certain items, I don't think across the board, but you're saying that the average. You're saying
I think
the
every
average.
item. What's not? I mean, anything. You know,
Eggs.
well, everything's gonna. I think they all will, because their cost of material is going to go down as well. Everybody's going to start devaluing their cost today. I just think everything you buy, shirts are going to go down, right? Washers and dry, their inventory's high, Dave.
Yeah, I just don't.
Whirlpool,
I don't
call
know.
GE up and ask them, hey, how's that inventory looking today?
No,
because nobody's buying today because of fuel. They're going to have to reduce the price. And one thing we are good at here in America is figuring out things, even if that means more credit card debt.
Yeah, and by the way, if we can figure out things, let's get the price of fuel down. If we can figure out things, let's get the price of fuel down. I think
We know how to do that.
Yeah.
But it still takes action. We have widened the screen as far as we can. You can't even stay in this brown square we have out here. This is the easiest job we have.
If you tell
right
me
here.
to stay in the brown
Just
square,
put
I'm
your
in the
foot-
brown square.
Just put your foot in there.
Okay,
and you'll be okay.
I got it. All right.
You know, and
I'm not
wander
leaving
around.
the square.
Oh man, this dude is all over the place. I need to just have you like on a string, like a. Did you ever have a? Did you ever? You never had a clothes wire, did you? A closing hanger wire, or whatever it's called.
Wire hanger?
No, not the wire hanger that you're beat with. I'm talking about, you hung your clothes out to dry.
Oh,
where you put your clothesline, you put your dog's thing on it, he'd run up and down.
You mean with?
You never had that on your side of 360.
With Grandma out there.
That's what I need.
And she'd have them in her mouth, and she was hanging the sheets, and she was pinning them up.
You saw it on a movie. That's the only way you saw that. Hey, listen, we have Double Check Dale coming back. Dave, before we do that, let's just look at fuel. We've been talking about fuel.
Foot's in
Let's
the-
just look at it
foot's in the
and
brown.
see what we got going on.
Let's look at
All
fuel.
right.
Let's look at fuel.
Here we go. Here's our fuel today. Let's just take a look at it. It is hanging steady at that 581, which is no bargain, right? I mean, again,
Can we put this on sale?
I mean, and for real, right? A year ago, it was still at 345,
Oh, my God.
340, 330, whatever
thought
it
it was
was.
high then.
Look at it right now.
That's
That's unbelievable. That's what we've got to get down. We've got to get that down.
$1.75 more.
We have the opportunity. We have the ability to that. Dave, we didn't even talk really about these ICs on the AB5.
No, we need to.
You know, AB5
Let's do that
goes into roll, goes into play probably in 7 days.
Yeah, let's talk
The
about
Supreme Court did make a decision on it.
Yeah,
that they're
we're not
going
gonna
to
make a decision.
Yes, and then it throws it back. So things have changed already since yesterday, which means all of those independent contractors, just think about this, that work at that big port that's already behind, and make no mind, it's behind today.
Yep.
They're going to have to get their own authority,
Yep. Which doesn't happen overnight.
become company drivers.
Yep. Which with what? So they
I mean,
give up their truck.
they're going to lose their independent contract to be able to lease onto a company.
Absolutely.
And think about this, Dave. When you're an independent contractor at that port, at servicing a rail, it's not just as easy as getting your authority.
Nope.
You also have to you got to
Registered.
you got to go out there with the railroad, UIA. You
Yep.
know, all of these other
yeah.
things. You got to
Gotta get
register
registered
to have that
insurance.
ability to
Oh,
go
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
Yeah, it's a whole deal. Yeah, it's a whole process. I mean, and you're talking about guys that have been doing it. That's what they know how to do, and that's what they've been doing a long time. And we're talking. And if I don't know if you've ever been to the LA port, I mean, if you've ever been out there, there's thousands of them running in and
Can
out
I
of there.
tell you one thing that will really jack this economy up right now?
We can't.
Is this right here. It's this
Absolutely.
independent contract right here. You have record high fuel right now. Think about it. Rates today are a little bit cheaper than they were last year, especially on that spot market side. They're about $1 a mile. You're just paying for all of that money in fuel surcharge. Imagine now if we take trucks off the road. Imagine now when that demand goes up,
Unbelievable.
fuel goes up. You want to talk recession? I'm all in at that point.
I can't even
This
imagine.
is bad. We've got to make sure that we fix this right here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. We got folks like Dana. We have folks like Dave Heller. We have the ATA,
So-
Chris Spear. We've got to find a way to stop the AB5 from.
And let me just tell you, I'm gonna, and you and I agree, the independent contractor has been an institution in this business since the beginning.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be tampered with.
Yes.
And it is, look, it is an American dream. It's the ability of the American dream. It says everything about the American dream. And you're talking about taking it away from every single one of them, right? I mean,
No
not
doubt.
just in California, which it will affect directly, but it can affect every single one of us. Impact. This can be set precedents across the country and change the way we look at the independent contractors. It's scary in knowing what it can and what it may or may not do. But I'll tell you what, it's not right. God, I love independent contractors, and I can't stand the idea that their dream be stolen right up from underneath their feet.
Hey, before we go to commercial, and I promise we're going to commercial here, Dave.
All right,
Let's get the glasses on. I need
go.
your hand held open.
I'm not doing that. Dude,
hold
this
your
is a
hand.
safety show.
Hold your hand open. Let's just try it.
Dude, this is a safety show.
Ow! Don't do that at home, folks. There's crazy stuff happening right here. Sometimes we show you what not to do to make you better, to make you safer. Drive safe, Dave. That's what I'm talking about. Taking a chance on that hand. Did it hurt?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's gone for the week. Now I'm out sick now. First work comp issue right here on BCB Live. We'll come back with Double Check Dale.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear affords the wearer durable clothing with a great fit to afford the highest degree of safety. Get your high-visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Hey, welcome back to BCB Live on this Friday before Independence Day. Double Check Dale here. We're going to talk a little bit about weather. There is not a lot going on, folks. We will talk a little bit about the temperatures. You know, today and through Sunday, we're going to see sub-100 temperatures here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas. But next week, from Monday through Sunday, it will be 100 degrees plus, 103, 104. So enjoy the cooler weather, if we can call high 90s cooler weather for the next couple days, because like I said, next week it is really going to get some blistering heat going on. Let's take a look at wind gusts. And again, I said there's not much going on with weather. We look at winds. There are no major areas where the winds really build up, where the gusts get into the dangerous category. So, you know, for today, we're looking really good. When I look at tomorrow, you know, we're not seeing any big major wind gusts or wind issues tomorrow either. We're going to step back and take a look at some rain and thunder precipitation, see where we got moisture going on right now. Houston and the Gulf Coast has a little bit of a storm going on, as does southern Iowa, northern Missouri, right on that border. A little bit of rain out in South Carolina, but right now, really pretty quiet in most places as far as precipitation goes. And we start kicking into the afternoon, and we see a lot of rain and precipitation out in New Mexico, Colorado, some in Utah and Wyoming. Also seeing some pretty strong storms starting to develop down there in that Gulf Coast area from Houston all the way through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, most of Florida seeing rain this afternoon, south of North Carolina. Ohio, right along that West Virginia line, has got a pretty good thunderstorm going on or predicted for this afternoon, later this afternoon. Some of those can turn severe with high winds, local flash flooding. You know, we kick that ahead to 6 o'clock, and all those same areas are still seeing quite a bit of rain. Rain moves into Kansas and southern Nebraska this evening around 6 o'clock. And then by 10 o'clock, everything starts to die down and die out a little bit, except for Pennsylvania. There's a storm that's a potential storm developing out there. But like I said, not a lot going on with the winds, just normal thunderstorms going on, nothing, no severe ones coming in. It really will be the heat for the next week or so. Like I said, next 2-3 days, the temperatures look pretty good. But next week, especially for the southern states, the heat returns, and we're going to see a lot of triple-digit days in a row. So be prepared for that. Everybody, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back and talk some safety.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Hi, this is David Dover, also known as Drive Safe Dave. You are watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Safety is what you want to talk about, and safety is what you want to be every single day. That's what we're here for. We're here to make it better.
The industry needs BCB Live so that it can find new and inventive ways to bring safety to the forefront for every single person out there on the road.
You got to be prepared to stop. And when you look at that and you understand the situation that you're in, you got to know that it's going to change. You got to expect it to change, and you can't run those lights.
You can watch BCB Live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So what are you waiting for? Follow and subscribe to BCB Live today.
Welcome back to BCB Live, safest station in the nation. Dale, what's happening, sir?
Not a lot. We're getting ready for that big Independence Day. We're going to talk some safety, and today it's not even a transportation type thing. It's more a personal safety, and Dave's been hitting on some of this all week long, you know, about fireworks and the safety of them. And hey, Rick, don't put one in your hand and hold it tight, because
look at this. Look at this. Are you getting this? This.
He's not getting it. Come on, man.
This is quickness here. Let me tell you something. Our reactions here are impressive.
Yeah, I just want y'all to know it smells like it. But I'll tell you what, and you talk about, say, my only firework tip for this week, and for today, my firework tip for today is, if it doesn't light, okay, so if you light a firework and it doesn't go off, don't try to relight it. It's done. It's a dud. Don't try to, because the fuse is short, and don't try to go in there on a short fuse and get it lit, or if it goes inside, remember, move it to the side, drop it in a bucket of water, choke it. Don't try to ever try to relight gunpowder on a fuse the fuse has been defaulted.
There you go. There you go. Fireworks start over 18,000 fires each year, including 300 car fires. I don't know what we're doing lighting fireworks in cars, but 1,300 house fires are started with fireworks. When we talk about injuries, hands and fingers are second most common. The face, eyes are the most common injuries caused by fireworks going off, and then your legs are your last one. 17% of the injuries are caused to the legs from fireworks. So, practice that fireworks safety. Like Dave said all week long, it's gunpowder, it's an explosion, it has the ability to hurt. And you're looking at those accidents, 17,000 people end up in an emergency room every Independence Day weekend from fireworks injuries. So that's a lot of injuries.
Yeah, as a kid, and I do have scars. My left leg is scarred from the bottle. What do they call it?
Rubber candles or bottle rockets?
Bottle rockets. Bottle rockets.
Bottle rockets.
I think we were in Louisiana, if I remember right, as kids, and we thought, you put see how many we can put in a bottle.
That's
and
always smart.
We lit them up, tied them all together, lit it up. It went up. 2 of them went up and just came back down and blew up on my leg. First time I ever cussed in front of my parents. I remember that. I was like saying the S word, which was big. It's still a big word for me. I don't use many cuss words at all. That's probably one of the worst ones.
Stupid.
So yes, I went to the emergency room on that, for burns, but everything, I heal quicker than most. The doctor was like, "Wow, that's weird." I was like healing.
Would you consider that? Let me ask you a question. Would you consider that a mistake, or would you consider that not a mistake?
Yeah, you know what? I should have gotten out of there quicker. I didn't. I shouldn't have sat there and watched them go up from that viewpoint. Yeah, I wanted to get seats.
Bad move.
Yeah,
move away. Once you like them, move away.
Do something you shouldn't do. Get out of the way. Right.
Yeah, pack a bottle full of bottle rockets probably wasn't the best move.
If you're robbing a store, get out of there quick. Don't hang out.
Don't hang out in the parking lot.
What else?
With the register.
Yeah. What was that plan?
We had that story this week. I was like, wow.
That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, why would you rob something and go and just hang out there?
I don't know.
You know what? But did you see? So this is on a more serious note. Is that the guy? And I found this in one article, and I hate to say this because it was. I want to make sure it's. I'd like to see it in a couple other articles as well, or on the news. But it said that the gentleman that got arrested for the 53 people now that have died in San Antonio. Faked his like he was on meth and he was one of them.
Yeah,
he may have been on meth, but he was acting like he was part of one of the victims on that.
And they were like, he pretended to be one of the victims, and then they have a picture of him moving through the check station, hanging out the window, smiling with all those people in the back.
Bad stuff, man. Yeah, bad stuff.
Yeah, you may get the death penalty.
I don't even understand how the gentleman that. So yesterday we had the driver that was pled guilty, that was guilty for bringing people over the border as well. $250,000. And I'm thinking
30 years in jail, maybe.
Why not more than that? I mean, let's stop this stuff from happening.
Yeah,
you transported them over.
Yeah, and if people get hurt, like they did get hurt, the death penalty, I'm all in. So here we are. I'm just saying, I'm okay with the death penalty. Are you okay with the death penalty?
Yeah, I've always been good with the death penalty.
All right. Well, you're in the right state then.
Yes, you are. And I agree with the death penalty also. So
wow,
it's unanimous here.
Wow. We are not welcome in California.
No, sir.
The show will never play California. All right, let's talk. We got videos.
We should have some videos.
Let's do some videos.
All right, first video we got is called "Get Below the Speed Limit and Space Will Follow."
And again, keeping with it, we're looking at speed and space management, and that's what it's all about. If we have the right speed and the right space, we don't get this in-cab coaching. We don't see that red box around it, and so we just have to learn to recognize it and then correct it, own that space in front.
Yeah, if we just slow down a little bit right now, we're safe from the vehicle in front of us that we don't know what's in front of it,
right?
And it's moving over to the right lane anyway, and we have a clear way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little patience.
If we slow down, we save a little fuel, make a little more money.
All right, the next video we got is called "Space is Bad, but the Speed is Good."
We talk about it. It's a dual thing. We have to have speed and space management because the space is bad, but the speed is well below the speed limit. Sometimes that's not enough. You still have to back off a little bit more to create that space, to keep that space. And so, it's a combination of the two that make it right, make it work.
Next is let's think about our outs.
You know, we get in situations sometimes, and when we get too close, we always have to think about what are our outs. And our outs, our number one out should always be that real estate between us and the vehicle ahead of us, because if there's guardrails on the side, vehicles on the other side of you, you don't have those outs. You've got to have that space in between you and the vehicle ahead, and got to keep that. You know, and the great thing about this technology is we're looking at it. We can see, 1.1, 1.0 following distance. We know that's too close. We know we can't react. And so as we watch this, we become more familiar with it. We realize what it looks like, and so we can start to take those steps to keep ourselves out of those situations.
Now we have too close over the speed limit.
We're too close here, and we're probably over the speed limit. And it goes back to, if we drive the speed limit, that's the first thing, drive the speed limit, the legal speed limit. And a lot of times we won't even be in these situations. People can drive as fast as they want. That's not you. They can get the tickets. You as a professional driver have to know what the speed limit is, have to obey it. That's the law. And it helps, keep you out of situations where we're following too close.
Again, it's training. It's training yourself to look at these things and back off. You just have to believe you need to back off. You've got to create a little bit more space.
Yeah, and again, if you don't
not
believe
even that much more space when you think about it. I mean, it's time-wise.
No, it's seconds.
Yeah,
It's seconds.
that's it.
We're not talking about minutes. We're not talking about hours. We're talking about seconds. And
let's just keep doing this, Dave, because I think we have drivers that still may not get it. They argue, and we see it on emails and everything. It says, "Well, I'm gonna lose time if you stayed behind this vehicle and you slowed down 2 seconds right now, and you got 3.5 seconds or whatever behind the vehicle. Have you lost any time?
No.
Because you're only going as fast as the vehicle in front of you anyway, right?
That's
That's
correct.
basically all we're saying, is that the reason why you're not losing time is because you're only going as far as that vehicle in front of you going. So if you back off a couple of seconds, you're still going to get there the same time. Minus 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah, and getting too close behind them, trying to draft off them, whatever, push them, doesn't make them go any faster. And so, the speed is there. You just have to go that speed, back off, and get in it. So.
And if something bad happens with that vehicle in front of you, to the vehicles to your left or right, it's not about whose fault it is. It's about preventability. You have a greater chance to prevent an accident when your space is also correct. Agree?
Agreed. Because when you're this close, you can't see what's going on in front of that vehicle, so you're really blinding. You're taking away that big picture from you, and he's going to react, and now you're too close to react and have the space to react properly.
Here's what I want to see. Let's do this for next week on Tuesday. Let's show some videos if we can. So if you're out there today, you got videos with us. Hey, share some videos with us from, say, 4 seconds. And then we have plenty for under 2, so we're good there. We got that part taken care of. But when you're 4 to 5 seconds, we want to see those videos. We want to see those videos, and we're going to do a side-by-side here to show you the difference on what we're talking about. Let's show them what it looks like. Maybe that will help make a difference by seeing, that's what they mean. Look how much more I can see. Let's show them the difference on what that looks like.
Yeah, if you have an opportunity out there, if you know what you're doing, send in the videos. Let us what the timing and the videos. Let us know what you're doing out there, and we'll get the videos in here and we'll take a look at them. I'd like to see 2 seconds. I'd like to see 3 seconds. I'd like to see some different times, and we can see them firsthand and kind of go over them and just see the difference in the ability.
So here we go. I want 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and 4 seconds.
I got it.
And let's put them together at the very end, and let's compare 4 to each one of them. 4 on half the screen, 1 on the other, 2, 3, so we can see that difference. So you can see what we talk about when we say creating space.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as we talk about it, we're taking small snippets out of a driver's long day, and I will tell you, you're going to find your moments in which you get caught behind these slower vehicles and you've got to go around. We're talking about being prepared for those moments, and when you do get into those moments, reacting correctly, because you're going to get in them. And you're not going to be behind that vehicle for hours. You're just not. You're only going to be behind that vehicle for just a few minutes, and you're not saving any time at all by being closer.
Oh,
I mean, it would take an hour at 1 mile to being back further, being back a mile. I mean, it would take a mile. I mean, it'd take an hour to show any real difference behind that vehicle. We're talking about it just a few minutes. There's no time. You waste nothing. Nothing at all.
Got another video?
Maybe more videos?
Yes, we have 3 more videos. This next video is called Slowing Down and Creating Space.
You know, start out too slow or too close, but we do see the space start to do. And how do we do that? By slowing down a little bit. We're watching the speed drop down a little
That's
bit.
what we're
and
talking
and
about.
There you go.
Action. Back it off.
There you go. 66 to 60 miles an hour. All of a sudden, that space is there. The red box goes away. The warning, the in-cab coaching goes away because you've created that space.
That's a great job.
All right, now we got adverse conditions must increase more.
You know, we're looking at that adverse conditions, and we know we have to slow down in adverse conditions. We have to increase that following space because when we see wet roads, slick roads, it takes longer to stop. I mean, our vehicles don't stop as quickly, so we have to factor that in also in these adverse conditions when it starts to rain, and the roads are really the slickest when it first starts to rain. And so got to keep all those things in mind, the things that we know, we learn, just have to remember them at the right times and utilize them.
Obviously, that's not from around here.
Not in the last 3, 5, 7 days. No, it's not. So
Yeah, okay.
We got 2 more submissions. This video is called Over Speed, Over Close.
you know, and here's that double whammy. I mean, we're over the speed limit and we're too close, and we're not going any faster than anybody else around us. So if we just slow down and create that space, you know, we're so much safer. And just have to recognize it, have to run that speed limit.
And our last thing of the day is a pretty brutal crash. Here we go.
You know, we talk about speed kills. Man, I don't know how fast that kid was going in this one, but he really crushed that guardrail. So, you know, folks, just have to slow it down no matter what vehicle you're in.
Yeah, if you can't control the speed, you know, no matter what your age, stay off the road. You know, I would love to see this kid because you have no business being on the road. You know, get off the road, get back into the crib, whatever it is. Drive Saturday. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I look at this and I figure this might just be some orientation program that youngsters are doing today, learning how to drive, and this is the test track. Unfortunately, this individual, after the post-accident, is still suffering from some post-traumatic stress. We're talking to them and working through them this incident right here, but I think they're going to make a full recovery.
I'm hoping the kid got cuffed. Seriously.
Well,
Got cuffed.
was he
No,
distracted?
sir, we're actually, it's in counseling now, sir, and we're working through some things. It was a very traumatic experience.
Was he drinking?
No, sir.
No
He had a-
bottle?
Yeah,
Didn't have a
I mean,
bottle with him?
He had
distracted
an
or
instructor riding on a tricycle next to the vehicle, and I'm telling you right now, we had a 7-year-old instructor. There is some counseling going on.
All I gotta say is, I hope, you know what? I hope I get to see that kid out picking up trash on the side of the road. You know
orange
what?
vest
Start
on.
him young. You know what? You can't do that. You have to
Full
slow
measure
down.
of the law. The
utility
whole
pro wearing, you know,
bam.
safety vest on and working the dishes.
Do you think this might have been his first incident?
It didn't look like it.
Did
No.
this look like a reoccurring?
No, it didn't look like it at all. And, you know, just you got to slow down. You got to know your situation.
Understand.
The guardrails are usually there because it's not the first time it's happened.
I agree.
How does he not know that? You know, and, you know, it's just no excuse for that. And, you know,
Do we go
Going the
to
wrong way too.
so when you talk full measure of the law? Does that include a switch? I'm just
you know, we are in Texas.
allowable
We
under
are
the law.
in Texas. That's all I got to say. Everybody, listen, have a great 4th. We're going to see you on Tuesday. Don't forget, it'll be 2 for Tuesday as we share with you some videos on, let's do some DJ voices. Hey, watch out for BCB Live on Tuesday. It's rocking it in the house. It's 2 for Tuesday as we show you 2 accidents.
And guess what? I think the special episode going on Tuesday.
You got to
Catch
start it all over, dude. Be your own guy. Go.
I is my
No,
own
go.
guy.
Start.
Wait a minute.
Here you
Let me check. Hey, it's Drive Safe Dave here on 2 for Tuesday, and guess what we're showing? Coming up next, we're gonna show. I think it's going to be TikTok Tuesday.
All right, Dale.
I got nothing, folks.
No, you got to do something. We got 6 minutes to kill. We can wait it out.
You're listening to silky smooth voice of Double Check Dale. Tune in Tuesday morning.
What is he listening to?
Wow. That's freaking jazz at night. I've listened to that. I like that. All right, DJ Jazzy Dale and Double Check Dave.
Diamond
Dave. Diamond Dave. Sir Rick, we're signing out of here. We'll see you next Tuesday. God bless. Stay safe. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day you've given us. We ask that you to keep our drivers safe, keep them safe on the road, to get them back home to their families. As we prepare this weekend, man, so many craziness happens out there. We just ask that you keep our minds at ease, keep our minds clean, and keep our minds focused on making sure we have that space. Thank you for all that you do. Continue to bless us. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen. Thank you for watching BCB Live. We'll see you Tuesday.
Long live the revolution.